at times. Uh, I'm gonna go through a I'm gonna go through a couple of things for you, just to keep in mind. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Hold on 1 second, Brother Jackson, so I can pull up that PowerPoint.
Yep.
All right.
Ben, can you mute everybody?
I'll take care of that.
That's up. Now I just gotta find you again. Okay. Gotta love. Okay, there's that. Share screen. Here we go. Beautiful.
All right. If you hold on 1 second, Brother Viney, I'm going to just mute everybody, and then I'll get right back to unmuting you, okay?
No problem.
All right, Brother Viney, you're unmuted. If you have any questions, please raise your hand, and then we will unmute you. Thank you, Brother Viney. You have the floor.
No problem. So, remote learning can be difficult for those of you that are still doing it, especially you as the student, because you're used to the teacher being there. You're used to, one, the human interaction. So that's the first thing. You have a couple of support systems that are going, right? So your teacher, that's a support system. Your fellow classmates that are a support system, right? And then if you need to elevate things, a tutoring center, that support system, a study group, that's a support system. All of a sudden now, that's all been taken away. So what I want to do is I want to go over to you. How do you make sure that you maintain your grades? Because at the end of the day, especially for my underclassmen in here, remember this: whether you're in school or out of school, you need your grades if you're trying to go on to college or whatever you're trying to do. And another thing I want you to do is flip the mindset. Even though it may seem like a lot of work, it's work that you are in control of. And so therefore, you have an opportunity to really raise your grades in a way that maybe you had not before. So let's go over 4 things that you need to do to be effective in it. The first thing, communicate weekly with your teacher. Do not expect your teacher to reach out to you. I know they should. I'm telling you this as someone that's been in the classroom for 23 years. Now I'm a dean of students. Your teacher should be reaching out whenever you have an issue. But they're not going to. Don't wait for them to. And so therefore, make it a practice of reaching out to your teachers, okay? If you got 7 courses, now PE you should be fine in. But your more difficult courses, what I would do is say, hey, on Monday, I'm gonna reach out to these 2 teachers. On Tuesday, I'm gonna reach out to these 2 teachers. However you want to do it. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Now, you may say to yourself, well, I'm doing good in that class. Doesn't matter. Still reach out, even if it's just to say, hey, Mr. Such and Such, hey, Miss Such and Such, how am I doing? You want to do that because really, if you think about it, everyone's grades are going to be more determined by the effectiveness of your communication with your teachers than anything else. Because let's say you have a problem. You can go to that teacher and say, hey, I don't understand this. Let's say you're working on a project and you want to make sure you get an A. You can ask the teacher, hey, how does this look? Before I submit it to you, is this okay? Let them tell you the things that you need to do to correct it. That's pretty much almost like them giving you the answers to a test. So, effective communication. It doesn't have to be long. It could be 1, 2 sentences, but you should make it a point. Am I communicating every week with my teachers? That should be a yes. Prioritize Monday, your toughest classes. Tuesday, your easier classes, okay? But communicate. The next thing, form a friend study group. You should have, for all of your classes, you should set aside, do 2 things. 1, have a study group. Number 2, set aside same time every single day where you guys get together. Now, I personally don't care if you're spending 10 minutes on the study or an hour on the study. But you guys need to have your study group. It's 2 things. 1, yes, to help with the work. But the second thing is it's a way to stay connected to your friends. You need that for your own mental health. you should know, I know that from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I'm on with my boys or I'm on with my friends. Yeah, we'll talk about Mr. Viney's class. Yes, we'll talk about Mr. Burnett's class or Mr. Caleb's class. But we're also going to have fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to joke, but we're going to get the work done. So you want to form study groups with your friends. That's very important. Third, prioritize assignments. Now, you may think I'm about to say get the hardest ones done first. No. Every day you get something, get the easier ones out of the way first. You want to, remote learning can become mentally exhausted, especially when you're sitting at a computer, there's no other interaction going on, right? And you're sitting there for 4 or 5 hours per day. It could drain on you. That's why, for example, in my school, I got kids I have to hunt down, and they're like, Mr. Viney, I'm tired. I get it. I totally get it. Because a lot of times what we do is we prioritize the hardest assignments first. So guess what? We're exhausted by the time we do that assignment. And then when you want to turn around and do the easier ones are harder. It's almost like, think about it like this. You're rolling a big boulder up a hill. Guess what? Even if someone puts a small rock in your hand, once you roll that boulder up the hill, that small rock is going to feel heavier and more tiresome than if you held it before you rolled that big boulder up. So prioritize. Get the easy ones done first. For your harder assignments, if you can space it out over multiple days, commit to only a certain amount of time that you're going to work on it. Don't try to get it all done at the same time. Makes no sense. If it's a project, just simply say, I'm going to work on it 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day. That's it. Okay? Prioritize so that you feel rested and well. And take breaks too. And I would say this, be intentional about your breaks. Don't wait till you get tired. Take a break. If it's 10 a.m., when you would have your lunch or whatever break, take it. Whatever time your lunch was, take it. Shut it down. If school got out at 3 o'clock, though you still may have work to done, take a 3 to 4 o'clock break. Take your breaks. That's critical. Last but not least, be honest when it's too much and shut it down. I can't stress this enough. You got to be honest with your teachers. I know you think your teacher's going to say, oh, no, you got to get it done. I'm telling you, you got to be honest. If it's too much, ask your teachers for an extension. If it's too much, tell them it's too much. If it's too hard, tell them that. You won't get in trouble. Where the trouble comes is when we got to find you, when we got to look for you, and then you tell us that. Don't wait for us to find you. Find us and say, hey, Mr. or Miss such, I need to talk to you. What's up? I'm trying to do this stuff. It's too much, or it's just a lot for me to get done today. You will find that most of your teachers, knowing the situation we're in, are going to be incredibly compassionate, okay? So all of this is about you taking initiative, you being proactive. The most important thing, communicate weekly with your teachers. Make sure you form your study groups online. Use Zoom, use Google Hangout, whatever you want to do. Skype, FaceTime, I don't care. But you need to have that friend study group. Next, prioritize your assignments. Remember, easy to hard. Easy to hard. And then last but not least, when it's honestly too much, shut it down. And don't feel guilty about it, but be intentional and communicate in an authentic and honest way to your parents as well as to your teachers. So that's what I have, and I'm willing to be open for any questions.
All right, as always, if you have a question, if you raise your hand on screen or if you raise your hand through the chat function, we'll get to you. Does anybody have any question at this time? And we want to thank you, Brother Viney, for this information, because I know distance learning is very difficult, as well as distance working for those of us that are in the workforce. So we have to take care of this. Mr. Slack, Donovan Slack.
Hello?
Yeah.
So in my school, like when I take my breaks around the same time I have lunch, but then the work lasts me until like the end of the night. And then the next morning, I'm tired from the day before. So do you have any tips for like getting more sleep in or something like that?
Okay, so then the first thing you have to ask yourself is, why is it taking you till the end of the night?
I mean, mainly because the work is just tedious, you know, because it's extra work. I mean, usually we don't get as much work so I'm not used to having that much work at all to one time.
Okay, have you reached out to your teacher?
Yes, sent an email before, sent a few emails, but the district's trying to do something right now, but next week's the end of the school year, so I mean, it's probably gonna be fun by then.
Oh, so next week's the end. Um, I still would say you gotta, well, when you've reached out, one other question for you before I give any suggestion here. What has your teacher said when you've reached out?
They just said, I mean, they're not really talking with the other teachers to see what each teacher is doing, so they're just posting, and not knowing that all the other teachers are doing the same thing, so it just adds up. So they're just saying, so they're just thinking that all teachers are just they're the only one posting stuff. So they're
Okay,
basically just saying, yeah.
right. But my question once again is, what did the teacher say in response to your concern about their class?
They just said, so basically they just said that you need to get the work done, and they did extend it until the next Monday, but it's still a lot of work.
This is what, how you just let me ask you a question. Did you articulate your concern to your teachers the way you just articulated to me and us on here?
No.
Okay, that's what you need to do. You need to say, dear teachers, I am asking for an extension. The work that I am receiving is far more tedious than the work we had in class. And because every teacher is assigning things individually, the work is piling up. Therefore, I need an extension because I'm finding myself overwhelmed. Don't use exhausted. I'm finding myself overwhelmed right now by the work. You're going to email that to all of your teachers. And you're also going to include on the email your parents.
Okay.
And the reason why you're doing that is because you want to make sure that the teachers take a sip before they respond, realize, hey, students' parents is on here. Because I'm going to tell you from the teacher's perspective, we're changing and we're revising this all the time. And that's one of the biggest things that we're hearing is that kids are getting more work than they should. And I know you said the district is revising it. I bet you, and I'm gonna give you some inside ball game here. I bet you they've already been told by their supervisors to cut back on the work. So once again, you have to articulate your concerns to your teachers. I would also have you talk to your guidance counselor.
We have weekly meetups with our guidance counselors.
Okay. Have you articulated this to them though?
No.
Okay.
No,
This is what I mean by communication is important. Your guidance counselors serve as your advocate. Yes, your parent is your advocate, but your guidance counselors are your advocates. That's who you go to when you have a difficulty. So just like you're doing this with me, you got to raise that with your guidance counselor and let them know, because what will happen is the guidance counselor will then be the one to send an email to all teachers and say, hey, can we do something here for Donovan? Can we give him a little bit more time or a little bit more of a breather? Okay. So
right.
Your guidance counselor is your advocate, but any email you send out, I would definitely make sure your parents are CC'd and make sure you articulate and communicate with your parents what the issues are before you send it out. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Next, we have Justin Allen.
Take breaks.
Justin,
Yes.
you're on.
All right. And there are times when I would like take break when I would like take breaks throughout the day,
Okay.
and sometimes like would it be recommended like if you do like one assignment a day?
It's not about it's not about one assignment a day, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. It's not about one assignment a day. What it is it's about managing your time.
Yeah.
And you can do multiple assignments a day. You just need to look at and measure how much does each one take? What is the degree of difficulty? I don't know that. You know that. But the ones that you find the most, you got to get those done first. And of course, adhere to the deadlines. The ones that you think are far more difficult or you need more time, you need to really do one thing before you begin. You need to really assess whether or not you can get it done in the time you can. And this is not slacking, this is not trying to get over. If you feel as though you need more time on those more difficult assignments or those assignments that's going to take up more time, you really need to articulate that to your teachers. But the idea of getting just one assignment done, no. Teachers should be assigning, if it's an assignment due the next day, no more than 30 minutes or more of work. If it's becoming too much more, once again, articulate it to your guidance counselor, articulate your concerns to your parents, okay? Because this is a work in progress.
Yeah.
All right?
All right. But what if
Or-
you like want to take a break? Kind of want to take a break. So, cause like I would do like one assignment for each class, and then I would like kind of continue the next day and through the week.
No, build your breaks in. You got to build your breaks in. You got to build your breaks in, and you got to build your shutdown time in. You got to build your breaks in and try to mimic your schedule as best as you can. So when you would have, a break in school, use that time to do that break. When you had lunch, use that time to do that. When school was over, use that time to do a break. And then think about how much time were you spending on homework at night. Whatever that was, whenever you said, yo, this is my shutdown time, you need to keep with that. You need to just shut down.
Okay.
You have to build in breaks. Do not try to go. I mean, in all honesty, I think if you can work for about 2.5 hours and then take a break, I would do between 2.5 hours and then break. Same thing. And give yourself about 30-minute break the first time, an hour to break the next time. And then after you do more work, shut down.
Yeah, like there are times when I would take breaks because I would have conferences with my teachers on Zoom, and sometimes I would take a break and like, go on YouTube or something, like take a breather.
You have to
But
just
try
be
not.
intentional, right? But here's what I would recommend. Write down when you want to take your break. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because if not, you're not gonna be able to mentally break. See, there's two types of break. There's proactive and then there's reactive. There's intentional and then there's forced. And here's what I mean. You got a project due. You ever remember this, Justin? You got a project due and you procrastinated on it. And so you sit and you watching TV, but you got to do that project. You know that,
Oh,
what I'm talking about?
oh yes.
Keep it real, right? You ever noticed that you were really never comfortable watching TV?
Yeah, I would
Did you-
notice that. I
Right.
like,
Cool.
I don't want to watch TV anymore.
Right, because it always stayed on your head, right? And so what happens is that you don't really get the break, even though you're not doing the work. in your mind, you're actually doing the work, because in your mind, the mental, you're putting mental, and matter of fact, it's even worse because you're watching TV, but your mental energy is also on that project that you needed to do. So you're getting more and more exhausted. So you're not even getting a break. You're not even rested. You're exhausted because you're watching TV. So the brain is there. Oh, but you still got that project that every moment you're like, I'm gonna get up and do it now. I'm gonna get up and do it now. But you're not. So it's there. So when you break, the break must be intentional. Why? So you can get your full rest. So my point is that you're more rested saying to myself, I'm going to take a break from 10 a.m. to 10:15. When you intentionally shut it down, then you would be sitting on your couch from 10 to 11 a.m. If you sat down and said, I'm going to get back to my work in a second, from 10 to 11 a.m., when you get back to that work, you're going to be dead beat. Because you spend 45 minutes of time saying, I got to get back, I got to get back. But if you say to yourself, from 10 a.m. to 10:30, break. From 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., I'm breaking. And no matter what, at 10 p.m., I'm going to bed. When you do that intentionally, your brain is more rested because you're not thinking about your work. You have given yourself the permission to fully break away from your work. So if you want to watch TV, you can watch TV in peace because that's your break time. You want to go out, you want to go eat, you want to go take in some sun, feed some fish, I don't know. You can do all that knowing that you have a break. And by the way, by doing it intentionally, you'll actually feel much better going ahead and getting back to the work when that time is up.
Brother Vine.
Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
I want to thank you as always, and just appreciate you.
No problem. No problem. I think, Brother Sykes, you had your hand up.
Oh, hang on a second. Brother Sykes.
Yes, thank you. I did want to add something if I could. I'm with the Columbia Maryland Alumni Chapter, and the way that we've been talking, Brother S. Isaiah Harvin and myself, the way we've been talking and teaching our mentees as far as studying and allotting their time. For the average person's attention span is between 15 and 20 minutes if they're sitting in a meeting or getting information sent to them. And we know that when our young men are studying, this is what we've been telling them. So allot yourself 20 minutes where you're just sitting and concentrating and doing whatever that assignment is, and to give yourself a 10-minute break in between then. Time it using your phone or having a timer in the kitchen, or asking your parent to time you to give you that 10-minute mental break. And then you'll go back to it for your next set of 20 minutes. Again, just sitting, concentrating, going over whatever it is that you need to go over. Again, then giving yourselves another 10 minutes. And then you'll have your last 20 minutes of study and review and what that case is. So if you look at that, you've done something for a full hour, but you've broken it up. It's 20 minutes here, a 10-minute mental break, another 20 minutes, a 10-minute mental break, and your last 20 minutes, another break after that. So you've gone through whatever that assignment is for a full hour. You've studied for that full hour. You reviewed for that full hour, but it's not a concentrated sitting there mentally, I'm not going to do anything else but look at this assignment for a full hour. So breaking it up, to Brother Viney's point, if you're breaking it up and allotting times in between where you can let yourself decompress and let your mind decompress and relax, then you will start to retain information much better and much quicker.
All right. Thank you, Brother Sykes.
All right. Next, we have Zion to talk about the Kappa League Challenge. Is Zion on?
Yeah, hang on one second. Zion, you with us? That's why I'm unmuted. Hang on. Then he just fell off. Hang on. No longer with us.
Okay. Next, we're going to move to Brother Burnett. I'm having a little technical difficulties over here, so just bear with me.
Hey, could you bring up that National Capital League Challenge screen?
Yeah, that's my problem. I don't have, my PowerPoint's not going to work right now.
Flip
Do
it
you
over
have
to
it?
me, Ben.
You have the PowerPoint?
No. Kev, did you
Yeah.
send that out to us?
Yeah, but if you want me to share the screen, I can bring it
Yeah,
up.
if you can share your screen. Sorry about that.
All right. Let's see. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
So just to update on National Capital League Challenge, you know, those that completed all 9 tasks are listed there. Justin Kingdom of Central Mississippi. A new person this week, Chase Pringle from Lawrenceville, Duluth. Those that have completed 5 or more and are listed there. Ashton McLean, Canton Madison. Jarquise Brown, Canton Madison. Kyle Jones, Silver Spring. George Jones, Mississippi, Central Mississippi. Kyle Swagger, Silver Spring. Dylan Robinson, Canton Madison. Justin Giles, Silver Spring. Spencer Boyd, Silver Spring. Eric Mason Jr., Woodbridge, Capital League. And so what I would ask is, if you're new on the list, look for an email from me. For those of you who were on the list last time, if you haven't completed all the tasks, please go ahead and complete it. But I've also sent you an email, so please respond back to that, because I don't know how to send you your things that you've won if I don't hear back from you. So we're going to leave this open one more week, and we will close it out next Saturday. And that's all I have. And I guess I need to stop share.
Well, you can go to the next screen.
All right. Well, now I got to go back and reshare. All right. So next is Ben Yu.
Yep. So I want to challenge the Kappa Leaguers. You know, you've been stuck in your house for a month, maybe 8 weeks. What I want to challenge you to do is 30 days of physical activity. Right here is a website that we will send out to your Kappa League mentors. And what that website will do is it'll give you activities to do over 30 days. So we're going to play it just a little bit like bingo. You have to let Brother Burnett know that you actually completed those challenges. And I'm going to challenge you a little bit, because if you do some of them, I'd like to see a video of it sent to us. And at the end of the month, anybody who's completed all 30 days of fitness will receive a prize. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because I want to surprise you guys with what it is. So, all right. Thanks, Brother Burnett.
All right. Again, we still have the Kappa League TV Award going, but we're going to jump to kind of close out. And again, thank you for your participation. Things to do this week: take care of yourself, be healthy, be safe, make sure you get some exercise each day, do the National Kappa League Challenge, subscribe to Kappa League TV on YouTube. And, you know, my kind of quote for the week is, the only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. So again, we all make mistakes. Sometimes if you're not trying new things or reaching for a high enough goal, and you don't make mistakes, but mistakes are important. And so you need to be willing to make smart mistakes and to learn from them, and then to continue to grow and to continue to progress. So again, I wish each of you a safe and healthy week, and we will talk with you next weekend. Thank you.
Once again, we want to thank everybody for joining our call. We want to thank the Kappa Leaguers who have led the call this week. Once again, if you have something that you'd like for us to learn from you, or your chapter has a best practice, please contact Brother Burnett and let us know. We look forward to the Kappa Leaguers running this session and sharing their knowledge with us. So once again, thank you, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.